Hey, Lordy, look at the time.
Empowered.
Yeah, so we'll just we'll kick this off. Welcome to another episode of the Empowered podcast. I am joined by my good friend Jonathan, who is the CEO, owner, director, founder of Gymfluencers. Gymfluencers is going places, but I'm going to let Jonathan explain it to you guys because he's going to do a better job than I could.
Yeah, probably not a better job, because, you know, I'm useless with all these things. So Gymfluencers, two things. Free to use website around the world, where basically you, me, 30-stone-old me, bodybuilder, Miss Universe can go on, get some value, news reviews, discount codes, free gym passes, coach listings, all that kind of stuff, all in one place. Never need to log in, just a good free place. And as a business, we earn money through affiliation and marketing. Then the other side that was born from that is Gymfluencers Agency, which is the influencer marketing agency, all in the health and fitness world. And basically we just align profiles with brands, and everyone gets paid and everyone sort of gets what they want out of it. And we kind of just cut the mess out of influencer marketing.
Gymfluencers is one of the best names for a business that I've heard in a long time. I think in this day and age, you feel like everything's been done. And then when you are like, I've got this new idea, I'm launching it, it's called Gymfluencers, it is what it says on the tin, it's influencer marketing within the fitness industry with a twist. My first response was, why has nobody used the name Gymfluencers yet? That's mental.
I remember you saying that when we met at Graft on one of the shoot days.
Yeah.
And it was funny because in a way it's a great name because it does say what it is. In a way it's a terrible name because it's so long.
Right.
So, you know, like that is the only issue is it's a long domain, it's a long name. And you know, everyone's still gym influencers. It's like,
Right.
no, it's Gymfluencers, but I get it, you know.
I think it's one of the best names. I couldn't believe that it wasn't already a business.
I was really happy when I searched on GoDaddy and it was there.
Yeah, it was available.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. And then from there, obviously, it just sort of went into what it was. But the reason for Gymfluencers originally, an influencer marketing agency was never the plan.
Yeah.
The whole point of it was when I was training in the gym, I'd see so many people taking selfies, doing workout videos, really putting like time in and work in. And the gym was benefiting off that, which is great because privately owned gyms need every bit of help they can get.
Yeah, of course.
If somebody loves a gym, then their friend should go. If they feel safe in a gym, they should tell their family, whatever it is. So the idea originally was those people were going to start getting paid to get members to gyms. So it was a referral program. So the idea was the gym memberships would be £1,000 a year, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We would negotiate with the gym that the Gymfluencer would get a cut. We would get a cut, and the person signing up would get a little discount.
Yeah.
So some gyms, because it did obviously launch with that, some gyms were like, right, we can give you a 40% margin here.
Yeah.
So what we did was 20% went to the saving, 20% went to the influence, and we just took nothing. We were just kind of like, we kind of just want this to work on that level. We'll make our money from clicks, whatever.
Yeah.
Or we'll make a few percent if we just charge whatever. But it would be very small on our side. Some gyms only had 10%. Privately owned gyms, there might already only be 40 quid a month. How are they going to give away 8 quid there, 8 quid there? It adds up. So that was the whole point of Gymfluencers. They were going to influence who went to that gym. And from there, we kind of had to pivot because of COVID and life and gym shutting down, and also just money. Like to be a class pass or one of those huge businesses, you need a lot of funding. You need to get that word out. So
you need to go out and actually do the mileage as well. Go out and speak to these gyms, build relationships, and I think new gyms are popping up quicker than you'd be able to get to them.
Yeah, that's it. And with, obviously, as you know, don't do anything public.
Yeah.
Getting out there, doing things like this, talking to gyms wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And to give somebody an idea to go run with it and pay someone, that's the obvious answer. But it's a complex kind of system the way it was working. It just wasn't gonna do what I needed it to do quick enough because you need a lot.
So how do you make that decision then? You know, you've came in with an idea. You can still tell there's legs in what you're doing. What was it like making that decision to say, I need to pivot?
Yeah. So a big anomaly happened where I had a terrible web designer originally from somewhere around here, I think, and he just kept making big mistakes and whatever. They did set up that referral program, which was so unique in itself. It wasn't a standard affiliation system that we could just plug in. Everything was designed from the ground up. But one day he basically rang me and he goes, what the hell are you doing with the website? I was like, I've done nothing for 3 months. I think I'm probably going to do something else or just let it ride, or, I've not decided. I said, there's, 10,000 people on there. And I'm like, there's not, there can't be. There's probably like 200 articles on there and not a single social post for months. And then the next day he rings me and he's like, oh, it's 30,000 or whatever. And I'm like, there isn't. But then I thought, well, maybe there is. So I started thinking of like, how can I monetize it now?
Yeah.
I've got all this traffic.
What had led to that traffic?
I'll get there.
Okay. Sorry.
The anomaly.
I'm interrupting.
So I was like, right, I'll make it news, I'll make it reviews, I'll give everyone value. Let's really just make this for the people, because that's why it was originally set up. It was for the person for the gym. Turns out he was just an idiot. There wasn't one person on the website.
Right.
But he'd I don't know what he'd done. Obviously he got sacked, moved on, we had to get a new designer.
So he just thought there was all of that
He
traffic.
must have been literally looking at analytics for some random ass website.
Right.
Now, I knew there wasn't 10,000 people, or 30. If he said 100 people on the website, I might have been like, there's a chance. There's a chance some article popped off somewhere.
Yeah. Because this is your background. You understand web traffic.
And like, you know, all the logins for the analytics was like I couldn't even access it.
Right.
So I was trying to use third-party websites and softwares, but it's a brand new website. You know, if you go on Google now and you put in like traffic of this website, it'll probably give you a rough idea, maybe half the real number or somewhere in that range. Everything was obviously just showing nil. Yeah. Because it was a new website anyway. And I just thought, okay, at least that made me do it. And then the cool thing is now we're hitting those numbers some days and we're getting to there and we're growing so literally I have this business because the web designer was so bad and confused things that he made me think there's something here. Yeah. There's something people need to sort of like reaffirm that belief. And
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So what is the traffic like now on the website? Because I guess for you, it's all about how much traffic you have through there.
Yeah, so for the websites, because it's all free to use for everybody, there's obviously been heaps and heaps of time, effort, thousands of blog post videos. The UK one has surpassed 80,000 a month now, so that's cool. I just said to you downstairs, the US, as of today, just surpassed that.
Wow.
So they're doing really well. And then we've got India, which we're just about to launch, Australia and Europe, we're just launching this week. Hopefully we can get them, even just 10,000 people, you know, because they're very real people. It's not kind of one of those spammy blog sites. It offers something and they click and convert.
There's real value.
Yeah.
From speaking to you, I'd never really spoken to someone who'd set up a business that had gave away so much.
Yeah.
Every single thing, every conversation that we'd ever had surrounding it was what you were going to give away and the value that you're going to create. You know, usually when you speak to people who've just set up a business or in their business is in its infancy, they're always talking about how much they're going to make. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the first thing. If we do this, we do that, we do the other, we'll be at 10K by then, we'll be at 20K a month by then. It's always about how much am I going to get in? I don't think you've ever mentioned that. No. Not once.
No, and I think that's a funny thing. So all my businesses in the past have been so predatory to money. Everything was money, that ground up. This was truly one of those things where this was a passion project. It was something I did because I needed help and I couldn't find that help, so I wanted to give that help. Yeah. I then met great people. You know, I met you. You were very serious about fitness. You still are, but you're not like competing. But then I met competitors, and then I met people who were like me and are terrified to go to the gym or whatever. Yeah. And it just became this whole system of what if I just actually give people something? You know, we spoke about men's health, men's fitness, these older sort of websites where nobody uses them anymore because it's all blogs, it's all for SEO, it's all kind of for big payments from companies. It's hard to go on there and really come out of it with something. So I just thought, what if I just gave everyone something? And, you know, it's a huge risk because the investment is obscene.
Yeah. I think the issue that a lot of those established websites have got is that they're quite, you know, they're in bed with certain companies. Yeah. They have barriers to entry for other companies getting on the website. You know, you aren't like that. You'll work with a variety of different companies. It's not a case of somebody putting in a call to you and saying, keep these off the website. No. So I think that's really good. It's genuine. You know, if you're saying something, if something's on there and people can benefit from it, it's there. Yeah. It's there for them. I think that's in an industry like the fitness industry, which is, you know, it's riddled with bullshit. It's riddled with people trying to make money out of other people's ignorance. And it's not to say that the people are wrong for being ignorant. You know, I had clients when I was a personal trainer who were solicitors or dentists or doctors, or they had a profession and that's what they had to focus on. Yeah. They didn't then have time to make fitness their job. So they would outsource that to me, and I would concentrate on that. However, there's a lot of people who will want to make additional money based on people not really knowing what the crack is.
Yeah.
So they'll exploit them technically. Yeah. And I think having something like what you've got where it's just all on there, clear as day, find value in this, great. If you don't find value in this, what about this?
Yeah.
I think not having a stake in what does well, it's just allowing the things that are best to rise to the top.
Yeah.
I think it's almost revolutionary.
I don't know about that, but a lot of people have done it in different worlds. And you know, the thing is, someone will watch this and be like, oh no, but I use this website. Mm-hmm. There will be other websites out there that are similar. Yeah. I'll always believe mine offers more because you can go there and get a free £15 gym pass to Fitness First now. You can do that 50 times over all the locations, or you can go to Newcastle, find one, or whatever it might be. We even launched an energy drink shop because I kept seeing people charging £4.50 for a can of Ghost or £4 for a 3D. I rang the big distributor. I said, how much does it cost? They're like, oh, well, landed about £1.50 to you. So I started selling them for £1.79. I make nothing. Yeah. But the point is, everyone's getting exploited by this horrible thing. And people,
Prime.
Yeah, exactly. And we will have that on there. Yeah. But the point of that is, all of this does lead to profit in a way. It has to. It's not just like this giving. Yeah. So the energy drink thing, for example, it was done to get traffic on the website. Mm-hmm. More people on the website, more the company's worth in that kind of sense. More people click this, more people might use a discount code. Yeah. So it's not just like this, like give, even though that is kind of like the premise and that's the value. Yeah. Them getting value should lead to something for us in a way, whether it's just traffic. Yeah. You know, nobody ever needs to log in or subscribe. So you're just a completely anonymous person, so we don't take details. But there is always something. So you might go on there now and be like, oh, but there's 5 articles that have just come out about how to save 20% off this item, and you obviously make money when it sells. Mm-hmm. Yes. But we had to find that item, negotiate the discount code, get it up. But we have made that to make money on that instance. Yeah. But then you might go on there and just read something about Chrissy Chella, who's just the One Active owner. She's really cool. We think she's amazing. Yeah. We spent a few £100 creating a really nice article about her. Yeah. Right? You know, that you might get value in just admiring her and her journey. Or you might read, an interview from a founder. And that was kind of always the point.
I think for me is that you create value for the individuals far surpassing what they could ever give you. Mm-hmm. Obviously, most businesses have a value proposition whereby whatever you get from them has inherently cost them less. Yeah. So say, for example, if you go and buy an iPhone for £1,000, it cost Apple a couple of £100 to make it. So you get something that they're making money on. With you guys, you're putting the investment in, and then that individual person who's getting that 20% off, it'll cost you far more than their
per person, yeah. Oh, by far.
It'll cost you far more initially. Yeah. So you're doing all that research, you're putting that hundreds of pounds worth of effort into that article. They then get some value out of that article. They might buy something that you make a couple of quid back from. Yeah. But for the individual people using your website, the individual influencers benefiting from the agency, they get far more out of the business than you get from that individual. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just everyone's a winner, and you get it on volume.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing of like, so obviously we've got the gymfluencers.com, the gymfluencers.agency, 2 very standalone things. The idea was always the same: to give more per person. And like you were saying there about some people getting lots out of it. For example, if we write an article on Grenade Oreo protein bars, best protein bars out, biggest selling thing ever, I can tell you we make 1% per sale. Yeah. So we've gone out there, we've negotiated a deal, we've created the articles, my editors uploaded it, we've posted it on the website, we've spread it across social media, make like 28p. Yeah. So on those ones, we'll never ever do well. But the point is, you have saved money there. Yeah. And hopefully someone reads that and is like, I might actually go buy this treadmill that they've got 20% off. And on the treadmills, we make £100 a sale.
Right, okay, yeah.
But there's nothing like intentionally leading to that. Yeah. It's more just like, the more people use us, then that's how we can sort of...
And the more trust they have, they build trust in what you guys are doing, they get to know it, it's easy, for me, it's, the businesses that reduce the amount of friction that people have whenever they do anything, or the businesses that succeed in this day and age. You look at the Ubers of the world, you look at the Amazons of the world. I know obviously, Uber's not necessarily making money, don't know exactly how that works, but Amazon's definitely making money. It just reduces the friction for the people. the information, the products are going to you. You don't have to leave your house and go and do things. And it's making things simple and easy for people. I like going to the gym. I like not spending a lot of money on things that I don't need to. I go to Gymfluencer website. There's things on there that are beneficial to me. There's information on there which is beneficial to me from a training perspective. I might get to hear some, useful insights that on somewhere else on the internet. And then there's discount for products. And right now I'm in the market for a treadmill. Everything's been so easy. I'm already here. Yeah. I'll go with that one.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. So tell me about the agency side of things, and tell me about what else is out there in the competition, because I know that's something we spoke about a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the agency was one of those cool things where that was never the plan, and it just birthed out of gymfluencers.com.
Yeah.
What we found there was we were talking to all these companies, and all the companies were kind of saying, oh, we've seen that you've had this shoot day, and so-and-so was there who we know as Miss Universe, or so-and-so was there who we know as basketball player, whatever it might be. How can we kind of do something with them? So I'd basically go to that person and be like, this company wants to work with you.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, seriously? Like, this is great. Like, if they can send me the product, and I was thinking, I don't really just want to send you the product because I know the value they get, you get.
Yeah.
So I'd basically go back to the brand and be like, this girl, she's got this amount of followers, she 250 quid. And I'd see that as kind of like huge value to the brand.
Yeah.
She'd get a couple £100.
Yeah.
We at the start, we didn't take anything. It was kind of just helping our community, helping the brand. And then I thought, well, obviously there is a lot of need for this. So Gymfluencers.agency, the idea of it was, again, just cutting out all the mess.
Yeah.
The brands have budgets. They need to spend money on marketing. They need to compete. They go into a lot of agencies who are charging primarily for time. A lot of these agencies put out, I see it all on LinkedIn, never pay an influencer. Did you know you can start for free with not paying influencers? And I'm like, but then you're charging them like $2,000 as a service fee.
Yeah.
That really gets to me. And then we saw
the opposite of what you stand for and what you've built, everything around. It's all about value first.
Yeah.
You get something after on volume.
And it's just creating a fair playing ground. But then also we saw influencers with like 10 posts, 10 of the last posts were ads of them holding like 3 different protein bags, and then they'd only get that gifted. And I was thinking, like, that looks terrible for you. That's not going to achieve anything for the brand.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get paid. They shouldn't make... it's kind of like you have completely messed that up. So what we did was we launched the agency. We basically started getting lots of people onto the network who we already had. Influencers, separated the Instagram, separated the websites. And it was going really well. And it goes really well. But then what I found was it was a free-to-join agency, as it should be. But then someone might get the gift and run away. Or they might just stop answering, or just you then had too many people to choose from.
Yeah.
So getting onto the bit that annoys some people really get it, some people really hate it. We charge $29.99 a year to join the agency as an influencer.
Yeah.
And some people literally are like, what the hell, that's shocking. Maybe the number makes it sound a bit scammy, I don't know what it is. But you break that down, it's £2.50 a month.
Yeah.
That is not us making profit.
No.
We give a lot for that. The reason is you're real and you're invested. And then that is what makes this network so special, is everyone who's joined it, pre-contracted, pre-negotiated, ready to go. Yeah. They're on our system. We know they're real. We've got their address. Like, they are literally part of our company in a way.
Yeah.
Just like if you're on the shop, you know who to go out to do whatever. And then they set their rate as well. So again, we're not like this predatory company where it's like, we charge £500 and give them 100.
Yeah.
If they've joined, they say they want £150 for a post and a story, or whatever, £10,000. Could be any number. That's what we build their offer around. What we do is we say, if it gets close to, or we'll still offer you it, but everyone accepts or declines.
Yes.
You don't like a brand, say no. You don't like whatever. That's
if
the whole point. If it doesn't
work, or there's a brand that you want to work with that's in the exact same space. Everybody's entitled to that.
And then that was that. And then the giving value thing was, I was like, okay, we're charging £2.50 a month, which I thought would be very just like a clear, people wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Some people do mind.
Yeah.
And some people are dubious of it. Well, it is what it is. It's different. A lot of agencies, you join and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, how do I give them...
You can't get a pick and mix for £2.50.
It's typical.
Just to put it into perspective. Usually people say for less than the price of a coffee. You probably couldn't even get a shot of espresso from Starbucks for £2.50.
No.
I don't know if that's true. Someone will check me on that, but...
My lattes cost about £4, so you're probably right.
Yeah, It's just a little buy-in to show that, you are legit.
Yeah.
You're real. You're there. Yeah.
and then we can focus on you.
Yeah.
If we had, and I think this is, so anyway, I'll get to the value bit, so we started building courses, learning courses, video libraries, discounts, giveaway freebies.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if anyone on our network hadn't received 100 quid worth of free stuff at the end of the 12 months alone, just as a very simple.
Yeah.
You saw it, the graph shoot, we gave away 8.5 grand in a day. Bags of stuff, and that's the point. Yeah. So we always make sure of that. But then the learning courses we spend, I don't know, by the end of 12 months, we probably spent 10 to 20,000 on building these, giving them for free as part of it. We then give exclusive discounts, event invites. I mean, we got invited to a big app launch. It's 75 quid a ticket. If you're on our network, we just said, if anyone's in London, it's free. So we try and give a whole lot back. Even just, you're on our close friend story on Instagram. Every day you see a trending audio tip. It literally says, this audio is trending. Here's the link.
Yeah.
It's just something. So that was the whole value thing. Then on top of that, we're doing all the work behind the scenes. We're going to the brands, we're saying, this person suits your criteria. We're then making sure that's done. We're paying you instantly. So that's the other thing. You make the post, you get paid. Yeah. Even if we've not been paid. A lot of the brands don't pay us for 90 days.
Wow.
So, but
that's awesome. Because I remember when I worked at ASOS, I had to wait, sometimes 3 months.
Yeah.
For
it's literally our average payout time 6 minutes from you making the post, and it doesn't matter what time of day you make it.
Wow.
We will pay instantly, and
awesome.
All of our reviews are basically like never been paid that quick. But that's the point, isn't it? You're the creator. It's like you've set up this whole podcast. If someone came in and was like, I'm going to use this for a week, I'll pay you in 90 days.
Yeah,
like,
I work in funded education. So if anybody knows about waiting for payments.
And that's it. And I wait for the payments.
Yeah.
And that's the same as the gymfluencers.com site.
But it's not passing that on to other people. It's not putting the squeeze on other people, because that is when the wheels fall off. Yep. The wheels fall off when you're having to hold other people's feet to the fire because yours are there. And I think that's what I was talking about, the instantaneous nature of the likes of your Amazons, the likes of those businesses that, they're predicated on quickest, because quickest beats free.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Fastest beats cheapest, because people don't want to wait anymore. And also, I'm going to be chomping at the bit to do another post for you guys. Yeah. If I know that 150 quid, it's like, people want instant gratification, whether I agree with that or not. But if you can give them it, geez, like, people should go for it.
Yeah, I absolutely love the part of it. And that was something I did from day one, is you get paid. And that is the whole struggle with my business, is literally outlaying everything and then waiting. And I think I said to you, there's a screenshot I'll show one day of what the business bank account had in it. And, very, 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 very bad news for me. But it showed the money that was pending to come in 6 days' time, because on Monzo it does that.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, I have spent everything on everyone and everything.
Yeah.
And that is their wait, and I have to wait. And if that wasn't coming in, I've got to go find it from somewhere else, and I've got to do it.
Yeah.
We will always, always, always spend everything to make sure everyone's got it first.
Yeah.
And that's the way it has to be. Especially like today's times, cost of living, everything is really tough.
Yeah.
But again, you deserve it. Why would you create something, post it, and then wait a month?
Yeah.
And it's just mad, like that to me. But that's the other thing with time, what you're saying. If a brand comes to us and they want 1 post or 1,000 posts, it's completed in 7 days, because we've got that network now. So it's speedy for the brand and it's speedy for the influencer, because there's no need to wait.
Of course,
Once the person has the product, 7 working days, I call it. It's all often sooner. It's usually within 3 days, because our creators are mint. It's done. You then just approve it, and then it fills the feeds.
Yeah.
So everything is streamlined as well for us, because if it took 2 months, how are we ever going to profit? We profit by turnover and doing lots of it. So we've kind of made that the art of the business is speed, and efficiency and effectiveness.
Influencer marketing, or gymfluencer marketing. I don't think every brand out there, big or small, realizes yet the value, and therefore I know that the individual people don't understand the value. Can you give me some kind of insights, actual real numbers? Because I think that's sometimes really helpful for people. What's out there? What can people be making with the size audiences that they have?
Oh yeah, for sure. It does vary a lot. So influencer marketing almost got ruined because it was all kind of like this Love Island star got 20 grand for a story and it deleted after an hour, or this person did that, they deleted the post, or when you do a selfie shot and the logo's backwards, they've just not spent a second to flip it. And all these brands basically getting punished for just sending it to somebody who is just a somebody, by the way. They're not a creator, they're not a whatever.
They're not a business.
It's on for them.
Yeah, they're not a business and they don't necessarily have the same etiquette that businesses who've been in business
you're
for
trusting
years.
a person to basically do something. And a lot of people will do great. A lot of people won't. Some people steal. Some people try and get away with the minimum.
Yeah.
Some people don't care. But then also, some people who are wanted will be overwhelmed and then start to just forget about quality.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just... So when that was happening, everyone was kind of like, you'd get £100 per 10,000 followers. So if you've got 10,000 followers, you get £100 a post. 20,000...
So for an Instagram post, it was roughly...
That's what basic people... And some people still do, which is mad.
Okay.
Do not ever just pigeonhole prices based on follower count.
Okay.
Look deeper into it. But what we do and what we set up, you choose your rate. So if you've got 10,000 followers, you might sign up and be like, I want £400 a post.
Okay.
Absolutely fair for some people. For some people, absolutely not fair.
Yeah.
And we will obviously come back to you and be like, this is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want to promise that you're going to get 400 quid a post and you have no engagement, you don't make posts, your reels are bad.
Do you look at their engagement?
Yeah.
Okay.
We calculate all their engagement, everything's kind of looked at. And don't get me wrong, pretty much everyone who joins, because they're paying, they're not stupid at this point, wanting to kind of get away with murder. They understand they're invested in this, they understand what they're worth. Some people, they do try and get too much, or even some people came to us. This girl, she was new to it, and I think she had like 14,000 followers. And basically, when you sign up, the form says rate per post. She put 50 quid. Yeah, I can get you 1,000 people, but no, I think we actually said you're probably worth about 260 to 80 at this point. I can't remember what it was. Let's start there. Get to the business. So we also make it fair there.
Yeah.
And for the brands, I'm sure the brands would have loved to have paid a £50.
Yeah.
But the brands love to pay £250. Because it's the value, it's the content, it's the quality.
I spend a lot of time looking at CPM, which is basically, for people who don't know, cost per 1,000 views, 1,000 impressions. So if 1,000 people see your post, then that's what the brands would look to pay. Depending on how niche you go, what do you think about kind of people looking at their impressions and putting a kind of CPM on that?
They can, as long as you know what it is. You as the person can basically set that price from whatever kind of point you want. Yeah. What I would tend to say is price yourself based on quality over anything. Okay. Because, like, say you're on TikTok. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you've got 1 million followers or 1,000 followers. It's the content that goes viral. And it's the stuff that people are invested in you in. If you're a kind of someone who just puts silly videos on, which is fine as well, you need to understand that out of those 1 million people who are your followers, a lot of them are going to be children probably. And who's buying and who's going through. So I'd always say go who your audience is, the quality first. Yeah. If you've got 20,000 followers and you make really good content and you're super keen, you turn around the content in that 7 days, for you to be getting less than a couple £100, probably not good. Yeah. You should be thinking way more. I know people, like, and this is the thing, someone with 50k versus somebody with 50k, I've seen prices range from 5 to 6 times in person, but just because the content is so good and they're following so good. If you've got 50,000 followers, and this is the difference that I see, and from the people that I see do well, this could just be, my views on this and not actually have anything that backs it up. But from what I've seen, take 2 influencers. One of them's got 50,000 followers, and it's mainly just like them in the gym, like a lot of like, not wearing a lot of clothes in the gym, like a lot of ass pics. They exist. They're getting good engagement versus someone with 50,000 followers, and she's talking about body positivity. She's had acne before, and she's talking about that. She's showing the real life. None of her posts are edited. I've got a friend who actually did my PT course, and her posts are awesome. And she's grew a massive following. I think she's probably got like 200,000 followers. She's the sweetest girl ever.
but all of her content is geared to help other girls. Now, that her followers by default will be a lot of other girls who are looking at her for inspiration, who are looking at her for help.
She's built that trust so well.
Yeah. Whereas the girl who's like taking a lot of gym pictures, again, no problem with that. A lot of her followers are going to be men.
Yeah.
So if she's posting saying, right, I've got this gut health product for women, none of her followers are going to buy it because they're not there for that. Whereas the other girl who's all about body positivity, who's all about helping a community, they're going to jump on that and they're going to be like, yes, thank you for this. This is going to stop my bloating. Awesome.
But you know, the coolest thing about that, and this is why I'll never say if you've got 20,000, charge 200 or 500. I'll never put a number on it because everyone needs to pick their own rates.
Yeah.
We will always say, if you're crazy on either end, we'll always help and we'll always get you the maximum that you deserve.
Yeah.
But like you say there, so that girl, 200,000 followers. If she only had 5,000 followers, she's probably still worth more than somebody with 50,000 followers because she's niched down.
Yeah.
And we work with a lot of online coaches, and online coaches convert really high because if coach does, client does.
Yeah.
So if a coach is like, I'm using this greens product because I'm a real person, I'm crap at eating broccoli 3 times a day, I'm fed up with this, I'm doing this, so I have this shot of greens powder. It tastes good, by the way. You can actually swallow it and not be sick.
Yeah.
If he's got 50 clients,
they are going to buy
most
it.
are probably going to be like, and then he's the winner, and that's where we kind of are with these micro influencers, higher influencers. Everyone has an amazing outlet, so we're not like never work with somebody with 2 million followers. Work with that person if they're right for your brand, and if it suits, they're going to be amazing for that. 5K, 50K, try and sort of spread it out. That's everything we do. We tend to sell campaigns rather than per person. I think, to be fair, our per person sale is probably 0.1% of what we do. The majority is someone will come to us and be got this amount of money, we need to achieve this. And
then you go to the individual influencers and go, we can give you this for that, we can give you this for that.
We bulk it into a package based off the rate they've already given us. So on some people, we actually lose money. In a way, because we want them to be in it. We want the brand to get that but 400K.
You need to pay them a little bit more.
And we just balance it out. So so that's how we kind of make sure everyone gets something. If we just went to like a brand and we're like, we've got 100 people, they all charge the same amount of money, they're all the same person, it's going to do something. It might do great, but the point is with our thing is we can build people in. And that's actually nice when a lot of brands come to us now. You know, we've built this trust. One of our best brands has extended 17 months. Because they're just happy and they do nothing anymore. They're just super happy with what we do. There's no approval needed, nothing. We just run with it. And some months, we will punt high on somebody. Because if it falls in their budget, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
But we'll be like, let's just stretch this.
If they give you 10K and you end up giving 5 of that to someone with 1 million followers.
And it works really
well and they get the ROI.
Yeah.
And then you spread the other one out. It's kind of like spread betting, isn't it? The pink slip down at the bottom in like Wolf of Wall Street style. Nothing could happen, or you could give them 200 quid, and they've actually got 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 followers. But it's a real engaged community of people who are really bought into what they're doing.
We've found some unbelievable people, by the way.
There could be someone with like, I don't know, IBS, and out of their followers, 500 of them are following because they've got IBS and they're always posting about it and they're like, this is what I do.
It is the like golden moment, and it's the thing I love about this, when you really find someone who suits what we do. We're not just like this middleman. We're very invested in both sides. We've literally turned paid per post or just one-offs or stories or whatever into ambassadors for brands, and they're with them for like 6 to 12 months.
That's awesome.
And every month we basically just say, right, they charge this, so you'll get 3 posts, 6 stories, bio, whatever. This is the price, this is that. Everyone literally is just sat there like, that was easy. That was a great win.
And you know what it is? There's a lot of great creators out there.
Unbelievable.
People who are making really good, funny, engaging, informative content with their smartphone, with their Ringlight, with what they have. And it's outperforming some of these adverts. I see some adverts that companies have spent tens of thousands of pounds on. I think you've missed the mark.
Big time.
You've missed the mark. You've spent, you could have had hundreds of influencers all pumping that out, advocating for it. But instead, you've decided to go all out on some real generic looking commercial that I know cost a fortune because I can like tell what sort of setup was involved in that. And really, what you needed was real people. And I think the time that we're living in now, I know there's obviously poor things that are happening in the world and everything like that. This is an incredible time to not have that much going for you yet. Like, I can't think of a time in history where you can go from
0 to hero.
Yeah, as quickly as this. I mean, unless you were an athlete or a musician or an actor, there was basically no way of achieving what you can achieve now with a smartphone, which doesn't have to be the best smartphone. You know, you can start off with an iPhone now that's 150, 200 quid.
Make that your charm.
Yeah.
Like, I always say this, like, when I came in, I was talking to you, and I was like, how much for all these cameras? How much is this audio thing? Nobody would know behind here. There's 6 Macs that probably cost you 10 grand. There's, you know, there is fortune spent on getting to this high quality.
Yeah.
Say you've got an iPhone, I don't even know what the crap with technology, an iPhone 5 or whatever, and it barely works anymore.
Yeah.
Talk about that in your content.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm out here, I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
Like, I want the iPhone 6. I want the iPhone 7.
Yeah.
Like, make that your cool thing. I remember there was a vlogger years ago on YouTube, and he was basically like, he had to have a Starbucks every day. And he spoke about Starbucks every day. And this is kind of like the whole niche and down thing we were talking about. He started to get Starbucks vouchers sent in the fan mail. He started to get Starbucks cups from Tokyo or whatever. Just because everyone saw it as his life. And like, going on a bigger scale, Christian Guzman, the owner of Alpha Land and Alpha League, he's known as the White Monster guy. Because in every vlog, he'd get a white monster. Yeah. And literally, he must have sold Monster billions of, the thing. So that's why he set up 3D. He was like, hold on. Yeah. I'm going to have white 3D now, and I'm going to make the money.
Yeah.
But if you just focus on that one thing, people become known for it. They start to, like, love you for it. They start to want to help you with it. Yeah. So if you're broke out there, and you've got absolutely nothing, tell people you're broke, you've got nothing, and make that your content.
No, like, because people can relate to it. We spoke a little bit about being relatable before, and I think that it's so important. Like, if people can see what you're up to and they can see a little bit of them and what you're doing and they can get some value from it, then that's what's going to help you grow rather than trying to just make everything look perfect.
Yeah,
but I think,
we spoke about this at lunch once. We go out and we were saying, we had this, daydream moment of someone says, you made it. Yeah. Congratulations. Looks great. Looks easy. Yeah. And we're like, used every credit card, had 7 heart attacks, had 5 breakdowns. Yeah. You just got to just...
Oh, there's times I can't look at my phone.
Yeah.
There's times where people will think everything's going well because we're putting stuff out and I can't look at my phone because I just think I can't bear
and that's the relatability thing. That's why the people we all follow are like the people we truly connect with. So if you're an influencer, if you're a business, if you're a brand, as soon as you get that connection, everything works. So like literally be that person who wants to quit a job but talk about that job, because eventually you will, and then be the person who's maybe at the top. Talk about being at the top, because that will inspire somebody else to do it. I
said it when we took a walk before we started filming. I love talking to you because I know that you're going through similar things to me, but the risks are just slightly higher. You're making mistakes. You're probably making like similar mistakes to me, but when you make a mistake, it's more expensive. So it just makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
But then that's the thing. I go talk to the next guy. He talks to the next guy. He talks to the next guy.
Exactly.
And we're all just sort of building on this thing. And again, people might look at them and be like, "You made loads of money or whatever," or like all businesses I had. Yeah. Some didn't. Sometimes I don't. Like I say, I'll show that bank statement one day, and people will be like, "John, Jesus, you were done, like, man," but like, thank God it wasn't. And that's the point, is nobody really understands the struggle of it. And I think that's why with the agency as well, when an influencer is like, "Oh, I've paid sign up, I've not had a collab," or this or that, whatever, it gets to me so much, because I think you think this is a faceless company because I've made it that way, because I didn't want my face to be with it. I didn't want to be public, that side of me, very private and just quiet. I don't like the attention. Yeah. If you truly knew, if you've not had a collab this week or this month, you might have been sent to 100 brands. You just didn't fit the criteria or whatever it might be. Yeah. I want you to have as much as possible. Yeah. Every single time. And like, same with the brands. Say a brand comes and they got like 1 or 2 posts and like, the views are great, the perfect. It just, my followers didn't go up, or I didn't get enough sales, or one did, one didn't. I'm kind of like, I will not stop until you get those followers. I will not, because this has to work for everybody involved. Yeah. And those little minute things absolutely kill me.
I think people who are using the agency and stuff like that, my advice to them from the conversations we've had, stick it out, get the 12 months out of the way. You're going to get the value back 3 or 4-fold with the free stuff that you guys set out. But also, you could be a couple of days away from 400 quid dropping in your bank when the right brand sees you.
It's a numbers game, and that's why our database is growing every day. I hope we've got 10,000 by the end of the year. That's kind of like I want 10,000 really high quality influencers on there. But like you say, it's not like, I remember somebody got annoyed with us because they said, you're advertising for more influencers, but I've not had a collab this week. And this all sounds negative because I'm only talking about who doesn't.
Yeah.
Everyone does. People work every day. Why do you need more? And I'm like, what if a surf company comes to me and we need 5 surfers who are age 18 to 20? I don't have them.
What if an anti-wrinkle company comes to me and they want influencers 55 and above?
We need to cover every...
Which they do, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, if you're sat there at home now and you're thinking, I like my social media, I'm putting a little bit of time and effort into it, but the reasons that I couldn't do it are X, Y, and Z. Take reasons X, Y, and Z, dig down into them, and make that your niche. Oh, I couldn't do it because I'm 50 now, I'm 60 now, I'm retired.
They are so needed, it's crazy.
Because everyone's on social media, and people, we've had Facebook for nearly 20 years now, right? It's got to be close to 20 years. So people who were in their 30s when Facebook came out are now in their 50s. People who were in their 40s, my parents have got social media, and they need representation as well, because they're not going to buy a gym program from someone who's 23 ripped with abs, because they're going to think, I was ripped with abs when I was 23.
It's so true, man. It really, I hate not having profiles to fulfill everyone. We're under an NDA with a lot of the brands we work with. Right. You would never know we touch them. Nothing is ever public. The influencers sign the NDA. It's content for them, for their profiles, whatever it might be. One of those is we need guys 45 to 55. Yeah. And I'm just like, don't have that many. But literally, if somebody's out there with 45, he was 45, a few thousand followers, happy to talk to a camera, there's 120 quid waiting for you. Yeah. Just because that's what they're paying for a piece of UGC. Yeah. They'll give you £120 for 10 seconds of you saying, I like the look of this product because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Nothing fake, just kind of I'm going to use this for this. And and then in 30 days, they'll pay another 120 quid for a results video. Yeah. And then so on. And then that happens all the time. Literally, that same company, he messaged the other day, he was like, have you got anyone who's, in their 30s and bald? And I was like, I almost said yes. I wouldn't have took a penny. But I was thinking, I want to give you this content, man. Yeah. I hate not having that one person, and that's why we want more. And I never want people to be like, if we had 1 million people on there, it'd be for a reason. Yes. It'd be because there are 1 million different criteria. And if you've not had a collab, it's because they wanted somebody with 20 to 30,000 followers who is a female aged between 35 and 40. And you're just not that. It's nothing because you've done wrong. Yeah. Some people do need to up their content. Some people stop posting and they'll never get a collab because of inactivity, whatever. Yeah. But 99% of the time, if you've not had a collab, it's just because that brand that day didn't fit. But next month they might. Yeah. The month after they might. We had a guy who's got 400,000 followers. He was like, I had a collab, for ages, what's going on? I had loads last year, and the start of this year, I've had none in 2 months. Literally last week, it's 5 or 6 just laid out in front of him. It's just the timing of it all. Yeah, different, they might be going through a bit of a rebuild stage. It might get towards the end of their financial year and they realise that they need to spend some money in advertising, and they've been putting off dropping the big bucks on someone with 400k, but now they're going, right, no, we've got 20 grand of our marketing budget yet left for the year. Let's make it happen. Who do we know? We used this guy last year. He was awesome. Let's do it now. It's just about keep consistent with what you're doing. Make sure you've got some skin in the game. And we also don't have every brand with us yet. That's the thing. We've worked with a lot of brands. How many brands roughly? On the influencer side, over 100. Wow. On the other side, 1,200, I think. Right now, it's like an affiliate or content for whatever. I don't think people realise how much work goes into that. That's crazy. Yeah, can you break that down for me? How long have you been going for? Couple of years. Couple of years. Agency, a year, if that. So you were looking at roughly, 2 companies a day. Yeah, the amount of collabs that go out, people would be stunned by, because not everything's public. Right. And I think that's one of the big things is, someone said, "Oh, the same girl seems to get lots of collabs." She had 3 that week, and they were all public. it's going to look like that sometimes if you're watching that girl.
Yeah.
But if you're watching the whole thing, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The last day of the month and the first day of the month's mad. Hundreds of collabs go out. Literally hundreds to people
Right.
to accept, decline, to manage to
Wow.
to pass back because a lot of the brands, some brands come with us for one post.
Mm-hmm.
They just need a cool bit of content. They've heard of us. They want to try our guys, whatever. Some brands are like every month we need 100. So you take care of the 100 every month, and we plan it accordingly. Where on the last day of the month they order what a product they want because that's the cool bit. Most of the time you get to just order what you want. These brands have unlimited gifting budgets.
Yeah.
So you talk about the rate of payment. Somebody the other day got like a £700 item plus a payment.
Right.
You know, somebody got, a £3 vitamin plus a payment.
Yeah.
It does juggle
Yeah.
up. But there will be a time where somebody's sat there with like a £5,000 item and a couple £100 payment. It does happen a lot.
Yeah.
It just depends who the brand is.
What are some of the brands? Is there some of the big brands that you can talk about that
Yeah.
you work with?
Yeah.
Do you want to run through some of them just to?
Yeah, a lot of the brands that we can say are on the website. So the biggest in terms of probably value of company, the Body Shop, HelloFresh, they're kind of like the big boys who've got the billion companies.
And to be, a couple of years in to that industry, and having those, the Body Shop is some of my oldest memories are like going to the Body Shop with my mum.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah,
but it's funny because we had a hack. We were kind of partnered with a lot of these already as an affiliate for the website.
right.
So we had an in.
Yeah.
We were kind of like, now we're doing this, trying to give it a go.
But that's the value proposition. That's you giving value before you're asking for anything. And they're like, yeah, we know you, we like you, we trust you, we've been doing stuff with it. You've provided us with tons of value. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we did get lucky with some. And those two weren't either of those because those two weren't listed on the gym site. They were just cool.
I don't think that's luck. I think you're taking credit away from yourself there. I think it's the run up that you had to setting Gymfluencers up and understanding from what you've told me about your history within work and business, it's understanding consumer behavior. I think that's your real niche, like skill that you've grew over that time. Would you have said
I've had three main businesses since I was 15. The first one was an eBay business when I was 15.
Yeah.
The reason I started that is because I couldn't afford a hat off eBay. So I thought, how is he doing this with the hats?
Yeah.
And I remember messaging him saying, I want this hat for cheaper, I'm 15. And he was like, I'll give you 5 for double the cost. I was like, I'll sell 4, I'll keep 1. And that snowballed.
Right.
Second cost was
How long did you do that business for?
3 years.
And did you set it up as a business?
Yeah,
and
it was a
run it,
complete
like,
proper
legit
business, yeah.
At 15?
Yeah, 15 to 18 and a half.
That's awesome.
And the reason it changed was life changed a lot, families moving, breaking apart, whatever. But the main thing was the Royal Mail quadrupled the prices. And I used to print money off postage. That was like
Mail.
I could charge £6 to send a jacket and it was only £2.50.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of be the same as what now. I'd sell the product for next to not a lot of margins versus other people. So I was probably undercutting people like 30%.
Yeah.
Selling the exact same thing. I was like, if I sold like 10,000 items a month and I'm making like £4 off postage alone, like this is gonna take off. And that was kind of like the logic behind that. The second one was I used to run online casinos and stuff. Help launch one, help build one. I like to play poker or whatever back in the day. So, and then this one was the gym thing. Yeah. I didn't have a clue about gym. Tell
me a little bit about, obviously I know the story, but about getting into the gym and things for you and how that's...
Yeah, the fat guy who owns Gymfluencers. Literally the craziest thing. Even, bless her, my stepdaughter kind of alluded to that. Like when I was like coming on the podcast and she was like, what, you own a gym? I was like, yeah, I don't own a gym, but I know what she meant.
Yeah.
I was 30 stone.
It's good that she knows what you do then.
Oh, she loves it. She's like the biggest.
Yeah.
So I do like trading as well and stuff and she's hooked. She loves everything business and she's like, she's mint. She comes in the office after school and just like looks on my screen like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
She's great. But like when she said it, she didn't say it nastily. It sounds bad, but it's true. It's like, that's why I never put my face in
But your story's awesome though about getting into the gym and stuff.
So yeah, I was 30 stone. I was basically at death. It was going to happen. I'd had a mild heart attack when I was 21. I'd just led a very unhealthy life. Work obsessed, but then also just very like, you turn into a hermit. You're basically just eating and whatever.
In that world of the online casinos, they never stop, I imagine.
In that, but I don't think I can blame that. I think I just blame me. My circumstances, it snowballed and you basically just cut. Everyone's story is different, but mine was basically like, who cares?
Yeah.
Just, you're on your own. It's cool. Just ride it out until it ends.
Yeah.
Not in a depressive way. Wasn't, I've never like depression, anxiety, and all that. It
Yeah.
was just the moment
You
you
were
get
just
into
there, and it snowballs, doesn't it?
you get into
just,
a slump, and
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're 30 stone. You wake up one day, the ligaments on your feet have gone. You think, oh, I'm dying today, whatever it is, like just
Yeah.
very bad things. And then I thought, right, well, I best change this. And then I was trying to find a coach because I didn't want to go to a gym because I didn't like the way I looked. I hated it. I didn't leave the house, to be fair, towards the end of it all. Couldn't really find a coach. There was no like good website to find like a coach listing. So obviously on gymfluencers.com, if you're a coach, you list for free because I want people to find you. So you submit your pictures, everything. So there was that, and then luckily I found a coach who was amazing. She trained me at 9 p.m. every night, bless her. And she Saturdays at 5, and we didn't take a day off for a year. Lost 15 stone. Put a few stone back on, but I'm back training with her now.
Yeah.
And I think that would. I don't always think I'll be like this, like 15 stone person. I think I'll be 15 to 18 and try, but understand when I am getting unhealthy and double down on it.
It's the knowledge, isn't it? It's understanding where you're at with things and being able to make those choices and it not snowball out of control because you've got that knowledge.
So that's literally where, like I said, eBay because I wanted to buy a hat. The other site's because I was a customer of the company. Ended up starting to like do
So
work
did you do
for.
online poker, or was it like in person as well?
Both. It was kind of just everything. Just very like, but just general sort of terms of online sort of like game. It fascinated me. The money of it, the way it's built. You know, it's a revenue game. So a lot of these casinos are worth so much money because they say the revenue number. Revenue is just turnover of the money, obviously.
Yeah.
In any other business, that makes more sense. You buy a product, you sell it, that adds up. But if somebody's just spinning that roulette wheel or whatever, that's the revenue. They're just counting like how many bets they take.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a bit of like a facade in a way. And I was just captivated by the finances of it. It was interesting, but then I hated it. You know, I just worked in it because of money or whatever. And then sort of I went through this experience of like, okay, I love going to the gym now.
Yeah.
You know, I can lift, I can run, I can do all this kind of stuff. What if somebody isn't? What if somebody is 30 stone me and wants to find that coach who I couldn't?
Yeah.
And even these things, I didn't know what pre-workout was. I remember emailing, Ghost supplements.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, listen, I'm starting off. I've looked on your website. I've looked on everyone's website. I've heard someone say about stacking supplements. Do I take this burn with this pre-workout together, or will that be bad for me? By the way, I had a bad heart once, and I'm 30 stone. Should I be? It was more just like, and it still is out there. And don't get me wrong, that company's amazing. What they do is great, and a lot are. But if you're 30 stone, you've never trained, you've never taken pre-workout, you're a bit worried.
You don't know what you don't know.
What can you
You've
find?
not been in that industry.
So that's how this kind of built up, is giving everyone everything. But again, that would be an inclusive person.
Yeah.
But you can go on there and get value. Mm-hmm. The CrossFit champion of the world can go get value.
Yeah.
That was the point of like, don't forget about everyone else in between. Because you know, we pay influencers to market Gymfluencers.
Yeah.
So we've got our agency, which is cool because we access all these amazing people.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have them advertise our website because that's how advertising works.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we use what we preach? And like literally one girl, we paid her to do just stories to advertise the discounts. She was like, what the hell's this? I've just saved 30% on this order. I spend 200 quid a month. I've just saved 60 quid.
Yeah.
It's just educating that person.
Yeah.
She uses this stuff every month from a different brand or whatever it might be. Now she likes it. So it's something for everyone.
It's having that, that additional, that alternate perspective, where you've been in that, coming into the fitness industry and from a client perspective, and then you can say the things that you wish you knew. I think what always kind of interests me when we have our conversations and inspires me, and I always say that the reason I have these conversations, I'd be having these conversations anyway. We go to lunch at the Ramside. These are the conversations that we have. I want other people to be party to them because I think that there's real benefit. There's loads of things that you've said there that people can take advice from, whether you're an influencer and you want to make extra money and realizing that there's actually stuff out there, whether it's something you want to get into, whether you're a brand who's starting to think, actually, rather than spend all this money sponsoring ads, why don't we just give the influencers money and we'll guarantee that 50,000 people see every one of their TikToks. So why would we spend all that money and time doing the creative when we can just give them guidelines? We should work with a company like yourself because I think, like you said there, you then have that level of, you'll take some of the risk on because you're paying the influencers, but also you'll take on the responsibility of making sure that the right people are doing it and people who with a track record, because it's a minefield out there. They've got 1 million followers. How many of them were bought? Do you know what I mean? There's that.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So there's loads of things that people can take from what you've said there. the thing that I take from our conversations is that just where your brain goes whenever you see an opportunity, like who on earth would straight away think from selling caps, well, I can make £3.50 from what if I sell 10,000?
Yeah.
Because people think, what if I sell 4?
Yeah.
What if I sell 10,000? And another thing you said there, I want 10,000 people using the 10,000 influencers. Yeah. You know, people will go, I want to get more influencers. If you say I want 10,000 and you don't make it and you only do half, you've done 5,000.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you say, oh, well, what if I sell 10,000 caps? What if you only sell a quarter? You sell 2,500.
Yeah.
Most people won't even start. You're thinking, I can do 10,000. And I think that's what, when I speak to you and when I leave, I always think bigger. And I always think, right, what can I do to, you know, go in multiples of 10 of what I'm doing? Not how do I get 50% more? Because that's not interesting, is it?
No, it's funny, my partner, when I'm talking, I'll be like, oh, we got 20x the traffic or 10x this. She's like, what's all this X you're on about? And I was like, oh, I just mean like multiply by 10, multiply by 20. But all the numbers I always set out are realistic, and it's for a purpose of being able to offer more. Yeah. And that's the point, is like, with the hats or whatever, that was profit. Because I had to make profit somehow, I had to beat people, whatever. With this one, the reason it's 10,000 is because it's a worldwide agency. That's not a lot of people to offer brands. If 1,000 companies join tomorrow and they only need 10 people, I can't service them. You know, like I need to be able to service them. I need the options. But they're always very like real reasonable numbers for a reason. It's not just like shooting in the stars, kind of like wanting it. But there's nothing even wrong with that. Like you say, to like fall back. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I want to retire when I'm 40. It was just like whatever. And like I'm not like saying, oh, I've got money, I'll retire at 40. I see what, you know, happened to my dad, whatever, my mum, you know, working too long. And I thought, wouldn't that be a really cool thing? Yeah. And I thought, what if I retire at 50? That's really cool. Like you were saying there. Yeah. It doesn't need to achieve that. Yeah. But having that kind of like logic I like, because at least I'm always pushing to hit it. Yeah. And the really cool thing is, like when we spoke about the website traffic, I knew one day if I just kept doing it, I'd be like, I hit that number that I knew wasn't right. But like he was saying, and then that's a moment, and that's kind of like how
it's just having that mentality to think about those things, and it is inspiring. Like we'll do 10,000 because it's global, and you know that'll even be something that we smash, and then it transcends into other areas of your life. Oh well, I'm 30 stone, I'll just lose half of that. Whereas, do you know what I mean? Whereas people would be like, oh, you know, it would be good to lose a couple of. Oh, I'll just train every day and lose half of it.
Yeah, that was a mad year.
And then doing that. And then, you know, that gives me confidence when I speak to you to think, yeah, he will do 10,000 influencers. And then after that, it won't be, oh, well, I'd love to do 11. It'll be, I'd love to do 100,000 and service 1 million companies. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And maybe, do you know what I mean? It's just always that next level of blowing it out of the water.
Yeah. And I think like earlier as well, you mentioned like, I don't, it's weird because all my old jobs I thought about money. Mm-hmm. Especially like launching a casino and stuff like that, being in that world, you have to think about revenue, profits, how to survive, how to like...
Well, the only product's money in that industry,
exactly.
Isn't it?
Whereas this one, I've actually never, ever, ever set a financial target.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I want to turn over 1 million. I want to turn over 10 million. I'm sure one day I'm going to... you know, I know what I have to turn over to survive and, you know, what I profit, but I'd rather start building based on achieving like certain numbers, like... If I have 10,000 influencers on this network, that's 10,000 people who are potentially getting paid every week, month, whatever. And then that's 1,000 companies who get everyone they want. Yeah. And then whatever money comes from that. Yeah. And I think it's actually, I only actually realised that probably the other day whilst driving, is I don't think about money. It's like, I would never have come here back in the day because I was worried about missing work for money. Mm-hmm. I'm worried coming here today because I've got to go back and catch up on a few hours work. You know, I'm worried when we go out, whatever. But I'm not thinking about how much money I've lost. Yeah. I'm thinking about
how many people you could have helped.
Not even that. Yeah, not even that. We just I could have got that done. Yes. And they could have got it quicker, or that. Or just to make sure it doesn't roll over. And I think that's the coolest thing. And like I said it to my stepdaughter, who's 14 next week. So she's like, she wants to be a marine biologist, a go-karting champion, and I'm like, let's do it. Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Let's do it all.
We'll get 10 classes a week in go-karting. I don't care. Like, I understand where this flops and goes. Yeah. I was 35 when I realised what I wanted to do. Yeah. Literally this year. Yeah. Like last year. Like, it's nice to be doing something where you truly love it. And again, that's why, like, when I come here, I see the setup you've got. Nobody knows, and like I don't put my stuff out in public. No, like nobody would understand what you've done to get here. One day someone will go to you, oh, yeah, he's in Dubai again. He made loads of money off podcasts. You know, how easy, what a life.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, mate. Like all these Macs, these cameras, these things, this government funding who didn't pay me 6 months later. And it's kind of like, as long as you're doing what you want, though, it really doesn't matter. And that sounds a little bit too like speechy, but I'm just so happy doing what I do, and I love it.
It actually is true. You see people kind of, you've got nothing to sell people on that side. If you're saying that, it's just because it's true. It's not, oh, it's all about doing this, buy my course from me.
Yeah.
You're saying that because you're being genuine, and I think that the sooner people realise that, the happier they'll be.
I mean, who would have thought I'd be the happy guy running a gym business? Like, that is literally the funniest business of all time.
Yeah.
The 30-stone guy runs a business where he deals with gym influencers.
Yeah.
And like you saw when we did that big shoot at Graft.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We had all these influencers out, all these athletes, Miss Universe. You know, everyone was there. You came out with your guys. And you were like, let's get a picture. And I said no. Mm-hmm. And it was pure embarrassment of being the fat guy who owns a gym business. And I think, what a dumb idiot that guy was. I should have pictures from that day to celebrate that we did it.
But this is your journey as well. You're on your journey, and I think this has been I'm really glad you came on, because you know how much I love the story, and you know how much I love what you guys are doing. And I think that, you know, you're very likable, and I think that that's something that is evident with the amount of influencers who you're working with, and the things that you're saying there. You care about the people who are involved. You want to get them
I absolutely love them to bits. It's a really weird like thing where you, and this is the cool thing, we do get to meet them sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, like I everyone has that kind of like need or want or something, and it's cool to just be part of it in a cool way. Yeah. Like this, it's cool to be part of anything. Yeah. Like that's the point. I used to sit in a quiet room. Mm-hmm. You used to do a job you hated. Yeah. God knows, like everyone has this horrible sort of thing when you actually finally sat in a spot. Yeah. And you're talking to cool people, and you're communicating with this, like talking to founders. Like I used to talk to founders of casinos who were like billionaires. And I hated them. Yeah. And like if someone said, "Do you want to go for a nice meal at this posh place?" and they'll pay for it. I think I did one because I hate it. I never went back. If someone says, "Do you want to go meet this guy?" He's like in 30 grand a day. He's trying to build this supplement company. Yeah. I will be there in a second. Yeah. It's just the most fun, interesting. Like
you'll probably pick up the tab.
But but that dude is like, he's my idol. Yeah. Like I absolutely just love the whole kind of like the world we're in. It's just the best.
And it's only going to get better. And I'm really excited for everything that you guys are doing. Give me a little bit of a snapshot, because we'll wrap it up. But tell me what's next for you guys.
Yeah. So the agency to grow. Yeah. And to become sort of like...
Which countries are we in now?
The agency-wise, all of them.
Right, okay,
Anywhere. If a brand comes to us, we've got somebody, or we can say all of them. I'm sure there's...
We've got you've launched the India site.
So gymfluencers.com.
Yeah.
Which is the free to use health and fitness website, totally different from the agency. We've got UK, US, Canada, India, Europe, Australia, the UAE. So basically, if you're in Australia, you go to gymfluencers.com, it'll take you to the Australia only. Yeah. So again, like the whole point of giving value is you don't have to shovel through content that doesn't suit you. Yeah. If you go on there for a discount code for my protein, it's the UK one. You go on the UK website and so on. So then just expanding those. I'd love to have 1 million uniques a month within 12 months. I think we can do it. Yeah. 10,000 influencers would be amazing. And just working with a lot more brands. I mean, like I say, we've worked with so many, but to really kind of just have them forever. Yeah. That's kind of like the best way, and it works best for them. Yeah. And just keep building, like more community stuff as well.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the description of this YouTube video, we're going to put the website to go for all of your discounts, for anything you want gym-wise, that'll be in there. And then we'll also stick the agency website in there, and that's going to be where they can go and sign up to be an influencer. Yeah. So I'll stick that in. We'll make it real clear, so it's like, interested in gym stuff, here it is. Interested in being an influencer, it'll be down there. Honestly, go and check them out on social media as well, because there's always loads of valuable things on there. And if you're thinking about getting into influencing, if you're already kind of in there and you're ready to take it a little bit more seriously, or even just test the waters and see, you know, we're talking there £200, £300, £400 is a lot of money per month. You do one of them a month, £400, it's an extra £5,000 a year. Yeah. You can't tell me that in this day and age you couldn't do anything with an extra £5,000 a year.
And some people are making 30 grand, by the way, on our network. Like, some people with 25 to 35,000 followers are making lots.
That could potentially double your income if you're in a
One
good
person's
job.
ready to quit the job.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and I know you're wrapping it up there. It's not exclusive.
Yeah.
So you can be a My Protein ambassador,
Yeah.
work for us on other things. You can be with another agency with us. It's an extra.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think we should definitely do another one of these, hopefully in another country, if we're out there
let's get to
together,
the
because
US.
that's going to happen. But yeah, I think, 12 months down the line, we'll do this again, and I think we'll have some exciting stories.
Definitely.
So honestly, mate, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure, and I'm glad we got to share it with other people. Yeah.
And
I feel less selfish now.
And if you're 30 and bald, I've got a job for you.
I'm going to wrap it up with 13 balls. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, buddy.